Okay, so it took a minute for me to get this stupid camera to work. Um, I'm trying to finish the story time. I think it's probably 3 or 4 more parts to this story, and then I will be starting a new story time. So that person who I'll be starting the story time about, get ready, because it's going to be a roller coaster. Anyway, anyways, so after my baby daddy had bragged to me about smashing his other baby mama and supposedly getting this female named Gladys pregnant the same time he got me pregnant. All that blew over. So then it came time for me to have the baby. I had my daughter. We brought her home to my house. Of course, I couldn't bring my baby to his apartment because he didn't have no damn lights. So if he don't have no lights, how I'm gonna put my baby bottles in his refrigerator? He's just dumb, stupid. Anyways, so this is when he had took me to the Chinese restaurant a week after I had the baby. And the same day that he told me, well, since you don't eat a salad the first thing when we go to the restaurant, I'm just gonna next time I'm just take you to McDonald's. Like, okay, and if you take me to McDonald's, I'm still not gonna eat a salad. And what? The fuck? So, he had we went to the Chinese restaurant. I had the baby with us. We came from the Chinese restaurant. Mind you, he didn't have a car, so he was using my sister's car to drive around. And this dog ass nigga, my baby daddy, sit up there and try to, mind you, I haven't had my 6 weeks checkup yet. So he decides to try and ask me if he can have sex with me. And I'm looking at him like, you know damn well I'm not healed up down there yet. And I not too long ago just had my daughter. So how do you think this gonna work out? Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This dude pressured me every day about doing that. Even though I was not healed up down there and I was stitched. I was stitched up down there because I had a vaginal birth. So I did let him pressure me into doing it. That was a disaster. That was a fucking disaster because I should not That was the most painful shit. But after that boiled over, one day me and him was sitting in my room watching TV and the baby was sleeping. And my sister had stopped by my room and she bought me 2 bags of some chocolate candy. But this particular chocolate candy was diet. It was a diet flavor, but it tasted good. So he sits there and he watched me eat the first bag of chocolate. Then he gonna turn around and look at me and say, "How many of those have you eaten?" I said, "Why? Why are you watching me eat in the first place?" He's like, I don't want you to get fat, so don't eat any more of that candy because you are not pregnant anymore. That way you don't really have no reason to overeat the way that you did. I said, first of all, when I was pregnant, I really couldn't keep shit down. I couldn't even keep water down. So I really didn't enjoy my pregnancy of eating what the fuck I wanted to eat because I kept throwing up. He was like, but anyway, I don't want you to get fat, so don't eat any more candy. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you forever. Because how dare you tell me you don't want me to get fat when you still messing around with the other baby mama. You disrespected me with her and the other nappy head, chicken head woman that you was messing around with while I was pregnant. So why would you think that I'm going to listen to you telling me not to eat any more candy because you don't want me to get fat? If I get fat, oh well. And he's like, because your appearance is going to change. And, I want you to stay the same size that you are. So, just watch what you eat. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm like, you don't really want me anyway. You want your other baby mama. So I don't understand why you telling me not to get fat. Dude, if you don't get the fuck out of my face. So after that argument, he left and went to the corner store and got himself a beer and some cigarillos, and then came back and rolled up his weed. And let me see what else happened. At this point, he was staying with me and my family. But while he was living with me and my family, this nigga go sit up and one day he said he was going to the zoo. This was the hot ass July. Then he gonna ask me if I had a stroller. I said, what you want to know if I have a fucking stroller for? Because I'm taking my daughter with me. I say, no the fuck you not. You're not finna take my newborn baby out there in that heat. No, you're not. No, you're not. So he left my house and went to the zoo anyway. But when his black ass came back, he tells me that he met up with his baby mama and his other daughter down the street from where I live at. And he says that they all went to the zoo together. And so I looked at him and said, so you mean to tell me you was gonna have my daughter around that ugly ass bitch? You was gonna have our baby around her? Well, yeah, because I wanted to show my daughter off. I'm like, you got me fucked up. And then he wasn't even supposed to be in a relationship with her. It's funny how when he was in a relationship with me, she would always call him. Call his phone. He would go sit in the corner or go stand outside and talk to her. And she was disrespectful. She was disrespecting our relationship because he was letting her. Then when he broke up with me and got back with her, she tells him to tell me to stop calling him. She don't care if it is about the baby because it's interfering with their relationship. And I told him to tell her, fuck you. Now, years later on down the line, my daughter had turned 4 years old. And as soon as, because his other daughter went and his stepdaughter went to my daughter's birthday party at McDonald's. As we dropping his kids off, me and my sister dropping his kids off, he asked could he keep Sierra. Now, I hesitated at first to tell him that I didn't want him. At first I said, no, you're not finna keep my daughter. And then he kept begging me, so I went on ahead and let him. My daughter calls me from his phone that night, and it seemed like she was crying. So when he dropped my baby off the next day, my daughter tells me that his baby mama spanked her. Now at this point, I wanted to kill him and I wanted to kill her because how dare you let this woman whoop my daughter on her birthday. Like, that was her first time meeting my daughter. And I still, even though my daughter is older now, I still feel some type of way to this day about that situation because I'm like, how dare you? He was like, it wasn't done. He says it wasn't done intentionally. Me, you, and my wife, which is my baby mama too, we all gonna have to sit down one day and have a talk. I'm like, I don't want to talk to her and I don't want to talk to you because all you doing is taking up for her. And I told him, so you sat your sorry black ass there and watched her spank my daughter. And then my daughter told me that you told her to call the bitch her mama. And then he's like, well, she don't need our daughter to call her mama because she got her own kids to call her mama. I'm like, fuck you. And you tell that bitch if she put her hands on my child again, she's not going to live to see 100 because I'm going to kill her. And I'm going to kill you after I kill her. How dare you let her whoop our child? And like I said, even though my child is older now, I'm still mad about that. And that's been years. That's been like back in fucking 2012. And I still haven't got over that. Now I know I should, but I don't get it. And then I see one day me and my daughter was in the store and my daughter was like around 5 years old. So his other baby mama, she walks in the corner store and she looks at me and Sierra and she speaks to my daughter, but she does not speak to me. And I just laughed because I'm like, I know what that's all about. First of all, if that was your man when he was trying to get with me a long time ago at the Bush Airport, then You should have been doing what you had to do to keep your man. He would not have came over to me because he was chasing me hard back then. And like I said, I gave him a hard time in the beginning because he was being a hoe. Like every day that I came into work, he was in some female face. Oh, and I have to also bring up that he started having an affair on me at the Bush Airport with this 18-year-old Hispanic chick. That's another thing that I never got over because me, him, and this chick worked on the same shift at the Bush Airport. And every time I saw her, I wanted to jump on her. I wanted to kick her ass. But at the same time, I guess that I should have been more mad at him about the situation than I was at her. But she would come over while me and him was having lunch at the job. She would come over and buy us, and because the Hispanics was eating and having a party, and she would try to invite him to go sit with them and asking me if he wanted to go and chill with them and eat with them. I'm like, bitch, he right here. You ask him. Like, I was already super jealous. I had every reason to feel insecure in the relationship because it's just so much that have happened. I'm going to have to end this story time for now and finish the rest maybe tomorrow morning because I have a lot of storage in this phone and I have to charge it. And it's about to go dead. So I will talk to y'all later.